welcome to Movie Reviews number 1, $5 a day. So this movie tells the story of Flynn, played by Alessandro Nivola, who is currently estranged from his father Nat, played by the ever-lovable Christopher Walken. Nat contacts Flynn to tell him that he has a brain tumor, so he needs Flynn to drive him cross-country for an experimental treatment. Now, in large part, they are estranged because Nat is a con man with a very checkered past that actually wound up landing Flynn in jail for almost a year. So here is a very brief teaser trailer about what kind of con man Nat is, and also basically outlining the kind of cross-country trip he's looking for with Flynn.
Let me ask you a question. Yeah? When was the last time you actually paid for something?
You know how much I'm out of pocket the last 6 months? $900 now. Works out to under $5 a day.
Well, if you stop eating, you cut it down to $3.
So yes, he wants to make a cross-country trip on $5 a day. And he's mapped out that trip exactly, including stops in places like Altoona, Pennsylvania, Elk City, Oklahoma, Amarillo, Texas, and Albuquerque, New Mexico. The reason for these particular stops consists of a little bit of old-time nostalgia for Nat and Flynn, but mostly because he's able to score free stuff. He's able to do this with his con man tricks, such as having 365 fake driver's licenses, so he can get free birthday meals at IHOP, which I did look into it, and it looks like you can indeed get free pancakes on your birthday at IHOP, but you have to sign up for their membership program, and they probably won't let you change your birthday every day, likely to avoid such scams. Staying in empty for sale houses instead of paying for motel rooms, ordering room service from that same motel they didn't stay at from the gas station next door, and attending sales presentations to stay at new development houses. This is on top of Nat's regular scams, which run the gamut from, I think, auto-scanning radio giveaways like tickets to scalp later, visiting casinos for free coffee, hoarding cell phones with free minutes. Keep in mind, this movie was released in 2008, when free minutes were a much bigger thing. And keeping lost luggage from airports. Nat describes this as airlines give passengers 60 days to pick up unclaimed baggage, and after that, it belongs to him. Which is kind of true, I guess. According to sources like USA Today and Cosmo, airlines keep unclaimed luggage for 90 days before either sending them to third-party retailers or donating them to charity. So I'm not sure if Nat is picking up luggage that doesn't belong to him and waiting it out, or if the movie is just stretching that truth a bit, or maybe the rules have changed in 10 years. Regardless, Nat is a first-rate con man who describes himself as a good-looking older guy who's making the system work for him. I've never seen this movie before, and I came into it pretty much because I was on a kick for Alessandro Nivola for a while and getting every movie of his I could. I was also excited about the prospect of a con man Christopher Walken. And there are things I like about this movie. Top of the list is one of the characters from the poster. Oh yeah, I'm talking about that sweet and low car. I'm borderline loving it, not gonna lie. I kind of want to make a video montage of just that car. I mean, it's got wings coming out of the hood, so it looks like the complete sweet and low packet. And its license plate says, sweet. What's not to love? Although it almost didn't happen. Richard Owasa over at TIFF Talk provides highlights from an interview with director Nigel, who said the car was originally going to be promoting Polydent with a big set of teeth on the roof. I, for one, am glad Sweet and Low came in for the win because it would have made a very different character that, aside from the two male leads, probably has more screen time than any other character in the movie. Another element I like about this movie is Flynn's voicemail confessions to his girlfriend Maggie, played by Peet. At the beginning of the movie, she breaks up with him and moves out in this lovely balcony scene.
That's how he works. He pulls you in, he makes you feel sorry for him, and before you know it, he's in your pocket.
Don't talk about him like that.
What?
He called to say he was dying, Richie.
He isn't dying, and don't call me Richie.
Why would he say he's dying if he isn't dying?
Because it's the only card he has left to play. You don't understand. He isn't dying. He's lying.
Like father, like son.
Deciding to fully commit, Flynn starts calling her.
It hurts me to say this, but the only person who really knows me is him. And that scares the hell out of me. Anyway, I don't know, maybe it's too late, but even if you hate me, I want you to know who you're hating.
She never picks up but always seems to be home, listening to him as he leaves the message. This sort of blind confession speaks to me. Don't get me wrong, I hate leaving voicemails off the top of my head, but there's a nice anonymity to it, as in maybe this person will get the message and maybe they won't. But it's cathartic just to leave the message and get it off your chest. I also enjoy the uncertainty of Nat's condition. He says he has a brain tumor, shows an x-ray and everything, but Flynn doesn't believe him, and I'm led to believe in Flynn's disbelief. A recurring idea through the movie is,
you don't look sick, Nat.
but there are these moments that make me think Nat could have a tumor, like when he's rambling to himself in an odd way, or when he blanks out in the middle of a fight with Flynn. These could be explained away, but it's enough to make me wonder if it could be true, and I enjoy that uncertainty. On the topic of Nat, I also enjoy his characterization. Basically, everyone except his son loves him. This is especially noticeable because those everyone people are just everyday people, like hairstylists and waiters and hotel personnel. He charms them effortlessly, and it's largely because he comes across as a nice guy. As Sharon Stone's character Dolores explains,
Is this because I'm dying?
This is because you're a good man.
I used to be.
You still are.
now this niceness could also be because Nat is contrasted against two major douches in the movie. Here's douche one.
Thank the little woman for that. She put this whole thing together. Between you and me, it's the only thing she put together the last 3 weeks.
And here's douche two.
Did you love her?
You know what women are like. You say something in the heat of the moment, you mean it, they think it's forever.
Perhaps it's not all that difficult to come across as nice when compared to those men, but Nat still works for me. And the last thing that stood out to me is a story about grammar, because boy howdy am I a sucker for those.
The question mark.
What question?
The symbol, the question mark, like at the end of a sentence, it's a question.
Like in grammar.
Yeah. It was originally a hieroglyphic symbol, which came from the view of the ass of a cat as it's walking away from you.
Explain.
Well, because when a cat walks away from you, you feel insecure, you're unsure of yourself, it's doubt,
I
it's
see you.
dubious.
Question mark. You mean like the thing? The
Yeah, you look at it, you see the tail,
and then
the asshole.
I love it. I have to debunk it, of course, but I love it. Lexico.com, which is a collaboration between Dictionary.com and Oxford University Press, explains that such myths are common but are entirely unsupported with any kind of evidence. I am still going to enjoy the scene, though. On the other hand, there are things I really don't like about this movie. The relationship between Flynn and Nat tops this list. I'm not sure if it's a lack of chemistry between Nivola and Walken, or if their dialogue falls flat a bit, but I feel the only reason Flynn agrees to go with Nat is because otherwise this movie wouldn't have happened. Nothing in the movie made me see it. I mean, Nat was responsible for Flynn going to jail. He sent a letter about that jail time to Flynn's boss so Flynn would get fired, and Flynn absolutely believes Nat would lie about having a brain tumor.
You really got a brain tumor?
You think I kid around about a tumor?
I do.
Really, it comes down to this.
It's him. He's toxic.
If I'm calling my dad toxic, I'm going to need some pretty hardcore motivation to go see him. And aside from a brain tumor that Flynn doesn't even believe is real, I don't get that. Maybe he's trying to get Maggie back? Maybe he's looking for an apology from Nat? I really can't say, and it weakens the entire structure of the movie. There are also moments throughout the movie where Flynn says he's calling it quits with the road trip, but then has a change of heart. And there's a moment where Flynn's entire life could be a lie.
How could you think that it wouldn't matter to me to know who my father is?
There are so many negative aspects to this relationship and not enough good actually shown on screen that I can't realistically believe Flynn sticks it out. I'm going to say the character of Dolores almost ties for top of this list. Fact is, I found her entire presence in the movie to be a little creepy. She used to be Flynn's babysitter, and Flynn had a massive crush on her, and now Nat wants to stop at her place to give Flynn the opportunity to have sex with her. Complete with glow-in-the-dark condoms. I can understand wanting to win someone's affection, but fulfilling this boyhood fantasy doesn't do it for me, especially since it turns out Dolores has the hots for Nat because he got her a pink briefcase for high school graduation back in the day, which I assume looks like this. So after a cringy, what could maybe be called a date between Flynn and Dolores, we get this scene later that night where Dolores strolls in wearing a negligee and Flynn is thinking he might get some, but instead, she gives him a great big kiss on the forehead, tucks him in, and squeezes his toe like I'm guessing she did when he was a kid. Then she bolsters her confidence before heading to the man she really wants. And yes, absolutely, she and Nat have sex with Flynn listening from the couch. I'm sure this is meant to come off as humorous, but, like I said, creepy. Overall, there are specific elements of this movie that I like, but the dislikes outweigh them, and that leads me to having no interest in watching this movie again. Movie Reviews rates $5 a day an F. But you tell me, would you keep it or delete it? Let me know in the comments below, and tell me what about the movie gladdened your heart or made you loathe the entire industry. For more movie reviews, be sure to subscribe to Movie Reviews because remember, this is only one of 1,617 reviews to come.